Clark and Perry.
In the place.
Clark and Perry. Do what it takes. Clark and Perry invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive. Available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand. For a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome once again to the Windy City's finest. I'm Perry, he's Clark, and you are?
Jess Nguyen.
Yes, thank you so much for meeting with us again. We are going to be looking at some acting today.
Yes.
Acting! Awesome, great. And so we have a scene here, and so I think we're going to talk about some context of the scene and the play, and maybe people have heard of it, maybe people have seen it, and hopefully we live up to the expectations of what they've seen.
You never know.
I never know. But yeah, no, awesome. So I think, let's just dive right into context.
Yeah.
So we are doing a scene from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. And it is a scene between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. And do you want to take it away with some context here of the scene?
Sure. So first off, the scene is Act 1, Scene 7.
Act 1, Scene 7.
And it is, context-wise, if any of you have read the play, which probably, it's
Probably.
really old,
Yeah.
Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have a conversation, and it's about his unwillingness to go and murder Duncan.
Yes.
And she is not happy.
And Lady Macbeth is not happy about it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, which I love because you can really, you can see her fire in this scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then his lack of, motivation, I'd say,
Yeah.
because he really is not, he doesn't have the...
That killer instinct.
exactly.
Like,
Before he was all talk, and then now that the moment has finally come, he's backing out because he's scared.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Like, I think from what I remember of the play and the scene, it's like there are a lot of factors that go in. He's kind of tormented, I think. You know, it's like it's something that he wants to do, but it's something that he can't do and shouldn't do, and I don't know.
Yeah.
William Shakespeare really put him through the grinder here.
Oh,
because,
he did.
Yeah. No, interesting. Okay, is there anything else you want to add about context?
Honestly, not really, because, I mean, before this, like I said, he's been all talk, like very gung-ho to do it, and then she's just really trying to reignite that fire underneath him.
Right, yeah.
Reignite that purpose.
Excellent. Okay. And so another thing we'll talk about is just like, as an actor, for me, it's very important to like warm up. Should we do some warm-ups really quick? Okay, I'm going to put this down off to the side here. But yeah, I think, here, I'll do some warm-ups, and then you can lead us through some small exercises that you would do. I like to warm up my shoulders and just do some arm rolls. Just kind of loosen up your chest a little bit, because I think as an actor, you got to use your voice a lot. You got to project. And sometimes, I think a lot of people will relate to this. Sometimes your shoulders can get kind of stuck up here, and so you just got to take a nice deep breath and relax those shoulders. That's something I like to do. Another one is kind of loosening up those legs, those hip joints. And I think this is just something that I like to do because, I don't know, I think people underestimate the value of like, your legs carry you all day, and your feet, and your hips. And I just think that, I know like, sometimes I get a really tight back, and what I have to do is I actually have to stretch my legs. Because I don't know much about like anatomy and everything, but I know that your legs, a lot of it does connect kind of right in your lower back, and so it always helps me to like stretch out my legs a little bit. I'm gonna do this one. My hamstrings get really tight. So
I don't do this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It works for me.
You can feel the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do it like sitting down on the floor too, but.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it's just good to stretch. You know what I mean? Like, I think if everybody took like 20 minutes out of their day, and I want to talk, like I don't do it half the time, but yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't do it either.
Yeah. And then I do my ankles as well. Again, our feet, really underappreciated, I think. They carry us all day. And as an actor, I think a lot of times, a lot of our training is like rooted in your feet. And it's like, that carries you, and like, on your tiptoes, are you really heel bound? Like, all of this sort of stuff. But what are some warm-ups you would like to do?
I'd say I always start with a roll down.
A roll down. Awesome. Should we walk people through a roll
Yes.
down? Okay, awesome. I'm going to follow your lead
All right.
because a lot of people might not know what a roll down is.
I don't know if you're the type of person to start with your hands up.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it this way
you
before.
like stretch
Yeah.
all the way up. I'm not gonna go that high.
Okay.
And then you're reaching for the sky, and then you're gonna let your wrists go,
Okay.
your elbows go,
Oh.
your shoulders go,
Oh.
and then your head. You're gonna roll all the way down, slowly letting gravity take you, and then going vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling each vertebrae fold in your spine, trying so then you don't miss anything, because it's easy to do, surprisingly. When you're down at the bottom, just remembering to breathe, that's important. And then just letting your arms kind of swing around. Same with your head to make sure things are loose. And when you're ready to, you can just slowly go back up, making sure you're focusing on your spine so then you're not missing any of your vertebrae. And then always your head is the last thing to go up.
Oh. Wow. It's been a
Yeah.
long time since I've done a roll down. Oh my gosh.
Really?
And I always remember Doug. Did you have Doug?
Oh, yeah.
At the U of L, Doug would always be like, all right, time for our first roll down of the day.
Yeah.
And I know that with Doug, he's a voice teacher. And so we would often do like a vocal kind of warm up with that
yeah.
as well. And so we're going to do it, if I may.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of stealing a little bit, but
It's okay.
let's do another roll down. But this time we're going to go out with our voice as we go down. And then we'll see when we come back up. I'll go first. I'll do an example, okay? Feel free to join in. So we're going to go, ah. And by the end of that, you want to be your head, arms dangling, head dangling. And then we'll just come back up slowly, just because it's been a while for myself. I don't want to get a head rush. So,
All right.
awesome. So, you can take a deep breath at the bottom and exhale. Keep your knees bent. I will always remember that.
Yep, that would not be good.
Yeah, no, don't keep your legs straight. Keep them bent. And then, yeah, I always remember it. I liked what you were saying about vertebrae, but on your way back up, keep your head relaxed and your shoulders. And I always think about my pelvis and just kind of tucking my pelvis in first and getting those vertebrae on top of that pelvis one at a time and coming back up.
Oh. Pelvis is a good one, too.
Yeah, kind of thinking of tucking the pelvis. Yeah, that always helped me. Awesome. Is there any other warm-ups?
Yes, you talked of Doug, so
Yes.
I love doing the hung-ah one.
Hung-ah. Do you want
Yeah.
to walk us through it?
All right, so basically you're going to go hung-ah, and you're going to like shoot your arm in the direction you want your hung-ah to go, and
Okay.
you want it to hit the other wall pretty much wherever you're
Right.
looking.
And
Or in this case, Brent's head.
absolutely. And why is this important as an
It's
actor?
for your projection.
For projecting.
Yes.
Awesome. Because as an actor, like sometimes you'll be in a 30 seat house, and other times you'll be in a 300 seat house. And so, yeah, the back, and you want to talk to the people at the back
Oh, absolutely.
in the same way that you would the people at the front, so that
Yeah.
they can hear you. Awesome. You go first, and I will join
Alrighty.
in.
I like the stance here.
Okay,
Gotta
what
get
about the
ready,
stance?
Like you're going in a battle.
Oh, awesome. I love that, because again, it's about your feet, right?
Yeah.
It's grounding your feet.
And then
Yeah.
if you like point your whole body in the direction that you want to go, it really helps your projection as well, I find.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Everybody does it differently, but that's how I like to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
I'll go first.
Yes, yes.
Hung-ah.
Hung-ah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
And one thing I always remember about that is like this idea of your tongue. It's kind of like starts at the top of your back of your mouth, and then it's like ga 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 ga. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that letting go and like letting it sink in. And I don't know. Doug would explain it way better, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
can we do one more? I'll go
Sure.
first. Cool.
Go for it.
Hung-ah.
All right. Hung
Yeah, and before we started, actually,
Yeah.
you were talking about kind of doing this in the rehearsal room, and like, I just think it's really important. For me, it was really important to have like a rehearsal space where, you know, these aren't things you would do every day. Like they're
No.
kind of weird things. You wouldn't do it out in the hallway or in the street, you know.
I mean, maybe
And
somebody would.
maybe somebody would, yeah. But typically, yeah, it's about having like a nice safe space where you can just, you know, express yourself and let your body do things that it can do and was designed to do, and to project and like roll and move and all of that stuff. So
Oh,
do you
yeah.
have any thoughts on that, or other than
Just
that
like-
it's important?
It is important.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I agree. I mean, it is something that you go and you take in the rehearsal space, or especially pre-show warm-ups. I love the shows. It's not always the case though, which is not the best, but it depends on the show, right?
Yeah.
You have a group and then the actors get together and they do like a warm-up together. I know some people like to do their individual,
For sure,
but
yeah.
I love it when everybody just gets together, especially for Shakespeare. You just
Yeah.
all stand in a circle
Oh my
and
gosh.
you just like go for it. And then I love it when you're in the parks too and you have everybody just there for the audience going. You can tell there's one person going, what are they doing?
What are they doing? And it's like it's kind of in university. It's like these drama kids. And it's like drama.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's just expressing yourself, and everybody's capable of it.
Oh,
But,
definitely.
and one thing I remember about Lethbridge Shakespeare, for context, is it's kind of out in the park, in the center of downtown, and you know you perform there during the summer, and so you know audiences will start trickling in, and you basically warm up behind the little gazebo-esque kind of
Yeah.
thing, and so you know people can see you, and you're just out there, but you're together. You're an ensemble.
Oh, yeah.
And by that point, you know, hopefully you've built some sort of camaraderie. And one of my favorites from there, I forget what it was called, but it was like the countdown one, where it's like 10, 9, 8,
Oh,
7,
yeah,
6,
yeah,
5,
yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Do you remember how to do that?
Yeah, 'cause
If we
it's-
could go from like 5 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it takes a
It's
little time.
like-
But
Oh man, okay. It's like with the hand first, and then the hand, and then
Yeah.
the leg, and then the
Yeah.
leg, and then the very
1,
the-
2, 3, 4.
yeah, and then I think is the last one where you just do the whole thing.
Whole thing, I think. Yeah.
I think so.
So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
It's
1, 2, 3, 4.
backwards.
Oh, it's backwards.
So like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
5, 4, 3, 2,
1,
1,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
and then
4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, let's do it. Can we do this? I'm like super excited to do this.
Okay.
It's been so long. Awesome. Okay, would you
Yeah.
be able to lead us through it?
Sure.
Okay, all right, I'm ready when you are.
Alrighty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
I love that. It's great to get the energy.
So
up.
good.
I love that so much. Awesome. Thank you for indulging
Yeah,
me
no
there.
problem.
Awesome.
That was great.
Would highly recommend it. It's a good way to get the energy up. Great. Awesome. Let's dive back into the scene and try and bring this energy into it. Although it might be a bit counterintuitive, but something that's always important for me is like
Yes.
text work, and just kind of, especially with Shakespeare, I think, because it's such old dialogue.
Definitely.
And you know, it was written such a long time ago that some of the words, it's not an exact translation now. And so, you know, you kind of have to go through and make sure you know what you're saying. Maybe we don't have to go through the whole thing, but is there anything that like you would do with this kind of script to kind of analyze the text, or to like highlight things, or
Yeah, so the biggest thing I do is I highlight my own lines,
Okay.
which I think is very important and is, I mean, I don't know any actors who don't do that
Right.
actually. I was gonna say, maybe some don't, but I mean,
Yeah.
everybody I've talked to does that.
Totally, yeah.
And just, it makes it so much clearer for when you're on book still.
Yeah.
And you're looking and you go, where do I start? And then you actually know.
You have your lines right there. Yeah.
Versus like going, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
And then everybody's waiting for you like, okay.
Awesome. Okay, so maybe we should highlight some of these lines.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm actually gonna say, I know there's like a monologue
yeah,
right at the
let's-
beginning of the scene here, but I think if we skip to that next page.
Oh, definitely. I was going to recommend the exact same
Totally
thing.
awesome. On the same page. Awesome. And maybe we'll start from here.
Okay.
And so like I'm actually gonna grab a green, because green is my favorite color. Does it matter to
Love
you which color you do it in?
I usually do pink.
Pink? Is that for like visually it's just easy, or you like pink?
Yeah, it's visually, and also I find it's like the most popular highlighter color.
Oh yeah.
Pink and yellow.
Yeah.
I just kind of switch between the two. I'm not really married to either one, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do green,
Okay.
just because I like it when it's really, sorry.
It's okay.
I like it when it's like so in my face.
Totally. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna take a second here. Oh, is that first line yours?
Yeah, no.
Hey now, what news? That's me, hey?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna highlight this. And another thing that we can kind of talk about, hopefully, as we do this,
Yes.
is, and I have a few more things to talk about on this, but jumping gears a little bit here, is memorization. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to do it, and sometimes it's the only thing that people notice. They're like, wow, you memorized all of those lines?
Yeah.
And so I just think it's one of those things that we could potentially provide some insight on for people. How do you memorize? Do you have a specific process, or is it a variety of things, or?
It's kind of a variety for me, because sometimes when I'm doing a short scene, like a really short one, or just a monologue that's like a minute long, I won't worry about going too in depth, because for me, if I just have it printed out on paper, or if
Yeah.
it's like on my phone on a PDF,
Yep.
then I can just look at it, read it over and over again, and then it can kind of click.
Right.
So that's like the speed way.
Speed version.
Yeah, the speed version. Whereas if I'm doing a show and say, hypothetically, we're in Macbeth and I'm playing Lady Macbeth,
Yeah.
I would go through the script, write out every single one of my lines without anybody else in there, so just my lines.
Yep.
And then separate it by scene
Yep.
and be like, okay, so heading is like, this is scene 1, all my lines in scene 1. Heading scene 2, all my lines in scene 2.
Wow. Yeah.
And then memorize it that way
Yeah.
by also just like kind of reading it over and over, going through, maybe putting it on my feet, just like almost just walking around while saying it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you notice, I don't know if you notice yourself when you're learning, but if you learn it sitting down and then you get up to go walk, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like
And I think
any movement.
yeah, any movement helps, right? No, this is great. I'll share a little bit of like my process,
Yeah.
because it's actually kind of similar. What I do, and maybe this is a little, it came from my high school teacher, my mentor,
Okay.
actually. And so I write out all my lines like you do, and I write them out without other people's lines. But you're reading it so many times that I find you just pick up, I don't know, I just pick up where
Yeah.
people's lines are, and I just kind of, I don't know. But I actually write them out 7 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit over the top, but I write them out 7 times, and I write them like 3 or 4 times with my right hand, and then I write them 3 times
Oh,
with my left hand. Yeah,
cool.
and I'm not left-handed, and so
Oh, no.
for me, it's like forcing myself to think of the action of writing it out as opposed to the words themselves, and it kind of takes my mind off it, and gets it kind of into my body and into my back of my head, because I'm
yeah.
focusing so much on something else. So that's a little tidbit of how I sometimes
neat.
memorize when I have the time, like you say.
Yeah.
If it's a small scene,
You do your
sometimes I
speed
won't.
version.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I do get up. I'm a big pacer.
Oh,
I like to
yeah.
be pacing and walking around, and yeah. And this is something else that I do, so I'm just going to show the camera here. So what I will do is I will actually use a different color for the punctuation. And again, this came from my high school teacher and mentor, because Shakespeare uses punctuation with purpose. And so the punctuation for Shakespeare, what I learned is that it's almost as important as the words sometimes. And it's kind of like in music where, you know, the silence between the notes is as important as the notes themselves sometimes. And so that's kind of what I picked up. And so I will often do this with my scripts. And then, yeah, I will also sometimes highlight the other people's lines. But I'll just do them in one color. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's 3 different characters or 1 different. They can all be the same color. But yeah. So I'm just almost getting to the end of this for me. How are
Lady
you
Macbeth
doing?
talks too much.
She got a lot to say, you know.
She
She's trying to
does.
convince Macbeth here to
She
do
really
some
is,
awful
but like
stuff.
this is the entire page.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's
Awesome.
she's given him her thoughts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this.
Oh, she's almost done.
Awesome. And then I'm just gonna speed through yours here as quick as I can.
That's really interesting though, because I've never actually highlighted the punctuation.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Though I don't ignore Shakespearean punctuation, which some of the things like modern monologues and modern scripts, I completely ignore it.
right.
There's times where I retype out the scene and just ignore all punctuation, all capital letters, all everything.
Right. Yeah.
And that came from Jay
Oh yeah.
Whitehead
Yeah.
when he was teaching me acting.
Totally.
Because then you can just, rather than having these set places where you have their inflection or like the stops and the pauses, you are free to create.
Yeah.
And then I haven't done with Shakespeare though, because Shakespeare, like you say, Shakespeare, he puts in the punctuation with purpose, and there's like a very specific meaning he wants.
Yes. Yes. And what that brings to mind for me is this idea of like, much like with drawing, where you said, you know, you're self-taught, and it's an idea of you don't know which rules not to break. Like,
Yeah.
and so with doing that method of like taking out all the punctuation and just like, it just kind of takes away the boundaries almost. And it allows you to see the script in a new light, I think.
Exactly.
For sure. Awesome. I am pretty much done here.
I
doing
am
this.
too.
Awesome. And we are skipping this first page. I'm actually just going to get rid of my first page here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
If I could even.
Oh, just going to toss it off to the side.
Yep.
So this is what our script looks like. This is what mine looks like. I am green because I love green. And I just put Lady Macbeth in blue. And then I got my orange little highlights on all the punctuation there.
And then I just went real simple and just highlighted all of Lady Macbeth's lines in the pink, and then I left Macbeth's blank.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And this is the awesome thing though, right?
Yeah,
Everybody has a
it's,
different
like, different.
process.
Oh, I just meant because you're Macbeth, sorry.
Yeah, I see. Great. So next thing I think we would do is kind of get up on our feet, and I think there's this term called blocking,
Yeah.
which sometimes is like given by the director in part or in full. But I think as an actor, it's like you can kind of create your own blocking or make your own offers. That's something I love doing. And so shall we just, how do you want to go about it? Should we just read through it and see what happens?
Yeah,
Or
I'd say
what would be your next steps?
the first read through for me, it's very just like figuring out, like, you know, the context of the scene.
Okay.
So it's like figuring out, like, not going like as if you're acting the scene as you're going to perform it sort of deal.
Right. Okay.
Because then less focus on the performance, more focus on where you're standing in the
Okay.
relationship.
More like technical kind of things is what I'm hearing.
So like
okay.
technical reading without like the, oh look, Macbeth's supposed to be screaming here, and
Right.
then not be like doing that because you're focusing on something else.
Totally. Okay.
Sort
It's
of
kind of like
deal.
layering it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would you be comfortable if we just kind of started and
Yeah.
just kind of gave it a read? And it doesn't have to be very performative, but it's just a kind of technical read through, figuring out where maybe works to stand
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatnot. Do we want a set? We have very simple set if we want
Ooh.
chairs or not. Should we leave it there?
I believe Macbeth is in his room, yes?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's what I was like, that's where I believe he is in his room. I
Okay.
don't know, he might want a chair?
You might have a chair, a nice chair to lounge in.
Yeah,
And where should we put it? Upstage, downstage, maybe upstage?
I'd say upstage.
Okay, let's go upstage. So for people, for context, acting, they split the stage up into various sections. There's left to right, which is flipped for the people in the audience, which might be confusing. But then there's upstage and downstage. And this just goes, mainly, it's more into directing. But as an actor, I think it's important to know of
yeah.
like, you know, you're creating images on stage, I think. And where you stand and where you enter from can have different meanings. It can read differently. My favorite example, and they use this in film a lot, is, and maybe you've heard of it, is like in Western culture, we typically read left to right. And so in Western audiences, generally speaking, if an actor enters from stage right, which is your left, you're more likely to see them in a positive light, and if they move like in that direction across the stage.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do it in film all the time. Whereas if somebody enters from stage left and goes against that norm, it's kind of like subconsciously
Yeah.
against the grain, like. Yeah.
I've never heard of
Never
that.
heard of that?
No.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
That's cool.
It's something I've heard, at least. So, anyways, so we can play with that. So for these characters, like Lady Macbeth, we might do that and have her enter.
Oh, she's coming this way.
Yeah, entering like against the grain. So.
Oh, 100%.
All right, we'll just kind of ghost through it and
Okay.
technically read through it. So,
Yeah.
okay.
She's coming from here.
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. So, yeah, we're just technically reading through it. So, yeah. How now? What news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now, to look so green and pale in what it did so freely? From this time such I count thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail,
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains, will I, with wine and wassail, to convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limebeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Awesome.
That was pretty fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So there's a few pages here, quite a bit of dialogue back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
So what would you take away from that kind of run through, do you think?
I'd say it is 100% a confrontation that's very like ping-pongy.
Interesting.
And yeah, I'd say on her side anyway. I think he's more of the, whoa, lady, calm down here. like take a beat, and then she's more like, you're not listening to me sort of vibe, and very, I don't know, more performative than he is, where he's kind of loosened his resolve.
Yeah, for sure. And she gives like quite a persuasive argument. Like I have given suck and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. So like, and this is kind of this is speaking to like a loss of hers.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like this almost finding vengeance in doing something else, I feel, to kind of get back for that. And you know, the question is like, will that make you feel better? Probably not, but there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of our luxury as the audience, I think, is to know that. But it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's like, yeah. I love what you're saying about the ping pong aspect of it. And it does give me an idea for some of our little prompts.
Yeah.
If you wanted to use them right now, but we could do another take, or what are you feeling?
We could do another take and then go for the props.
Okay.
Or the props.
The props, yeah. Acting kind of props, yeah. What would you like to do with this next take? How would you like to try it?
I'd say go for the more, I don't know there's a better word for this, but you know, I'd say more focus on the script versus the blocking.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Okay, so we would just kind of, are we just standing for this? Like,
we could be standing and just kind of like ignore the chair.
Yeah.
Sort of deal.
Okay, ignore the chair.
Yeah.
Is it still here or away?
It can still be there or away, up to you.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay, so yeah, let's focus more on the script, you're saying, and less on the blocking.
Yes.
And so are we going for like the reading of it, trying to get what they're saying, or?
Sure, we can try.
Yeah? Okay, sounds good. Okay,
I mean,
maybe let's do, for the essence of time, should we do
The-
slightly less?
Yeah.
Okay,
Or should
and then maybe we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll try some fun little props that we came up with to kind of switch things up. Let's go from pretty piece. How about if we should fail?
Sure.
It's just like a if we should fail, kind of dramatic, you know. Okay, awesome. Okay.
I like that.
Loosen up. Cool. Okay. If we should fail.
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, or whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his two chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limebeck only, when in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend upon each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False-faced must hide what the false heart doth know.
I like the end thing.
Awesome.
Serious pose.
Yeah, awesome. But that's exactly what Lady Macbeth is trying to like invigorate in him, I think, right?
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how did that feel for you? Like, what would you maybe do next?
Pretty good. I'd say I mean, we obviously skipped through a lot of the traditional stuff.
Totally, yeah.
So, I mean, what I do next is really just say we've got all of our intentions and we understand what the characters want from each other. I'd say go back to solidifying blocking.
To solidifying blocking. Okay, and so for context,
Yes.
you're talking about objectives and intentions.
Yes.
let's just talk briefly about that because I know we kind of skipped over it.
That's true.
But if we could give like a small example and a little bit of the text here, just for context, I think that might be really cool. And then yeah, we'll take a short break and come back. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So yeah, when you talk about objectives, I think of two things. I think of super objective, and then there's lots of mini objectives. Is that how you know it?
Yes.
Or, yeah? And do you want to speak to those?
Like within the context of the
Sure,
scene?
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like for this scene, Lady Macbeth, her super objective would be convince Macbeth to kill Duncan.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then the small objectives would be like within the paragraphs that she's speaking, within her monologues, would be like, okay, well, when she's like, when you durst do it, then you were a man, and to be more than what you were, you'd be so much more than a man. She's basically like, okay, my objective is to, I don't know, you just want to embed that just feeling of helplessness in his mind, so then he'd turn into his major objective, like to kind of just break his self-esteem down to the point, like what's the word? Attack his manlyhood.
Yeah. Like one thing I get, so what beast was't then that made you break this enterprise to me? That's kind of like almost, as bad as it might sound, it's like guilt tripping almost.
Yes.
It's like it's saying that you said you would do this. So like what beast was it inside you that made you say that in the first place if you're no longer going to be doing that, you know?
And I know she also, I'm not sure where the word is, but it's kind of like saying like, listen, like you're saying that you made a promise, but clearly you're breaking it. So do you say anything true?
Yeah.
Sort of attitude. So it's kind of just questioning his own authenticity.
Authenticity and like, what's that word where you're like held to a high standard and like, oh, what is that word? Integrity.
Yes.
Like kind of questioning his integrity.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody who's super objective, might very well become king. And that is, you know, supposedly a very integrous role, you know, or that's an ideal trait in somebody in that role. And so by attacking that, you're kind of, using that to your advantage, I think, the character. Yeah. Very interesting. Awesome. Cool. Is there anything more you want to add about super objective and mini objectives? The only thing I can think of is like you can do so many layers of like you could even have for the scene itself. Like for this scene, like you say, it's convince him to do this, but that might be different from her super objective, which is
super objective of the play.
Yeah, like different still, right?
I've also seen people where it's like, okay, they have a different super objective for the act as well.
Right, for the act, yeah.
So there's so many layers. It's like, okay, super objective of the whole thing, and then the act, and then the scene, and then
the scene, and then the lines.
objective within the scene to get the other objective.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It can go like
so many ways.
So many.
And I think it just gets to this point of like communication, you know, because we're a team is my experience. And so you figure out a way to put these thoughts into words so that sometimes you can share that with your scene partner or the director. And then, you know, it kind of gives people a middle ground of understanding to like, oh, let's try it this way. Or what if you actually change that slightly? And it's just communication, I think.
Oh, definitely.
It's like tools to kind of dissect the language and the subtext and stuff like that. Yeah. Awesome. I think that is all the time we have for this part of the segment. So thank you so much again for meeting with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I am Perry. He is Clark. And you are?
Jess.
And this is the Windy City's Finest. Again, we will be right back after a short break. If you're tuned in to the live stream, stay tuned. We will be right back exploring more acting. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep your eyes peeled for the next one.
Clark and Perry
in the place.
Clark and Perry, do what it takes. Clark and Perry invite you to stay.
And explore the artistry in everything, live, on location alongside the Windy City's Finest. Produced with the support of TELUS Story Hive. Available on YouTube and TELUS Optic TV on demand for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.